Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here, and I thought I was going to pre-record this dusk walk, if you will, of the walk and talk, and I'm going to answer questions, hopefully in the live premiere. That's what we're going to do on this one. So I wanted to talk a little bit about quote-unquote perception versus reality, because I feel like, first of all, when I go through my Twitter feed, and I go through my comments, there are some people that just think that everything must be a conspiracy. We must be being lied to about everything. For instance, there are some people that are not happy with what the Department of Justice has just done in that large sweep of over 1,700 predators throughout the country. And I'm saying, well, you know what? That's something they should be applauded for. Absolutely, 100%. They're far from perfect, but that's a good thing. That is a positive thing. That's what we want these people to do. So, when they do something right, we should let them know that. Now, on the flip of that, people throughout the week have been asking me to cover Tony Rodham's death. And Tony Rodham is the brother of Hillary Clinton. And I've mentioned it several times now. Mostly on these walk-in talks, but there wasn't a ton of news out there. I see somebody in my feed, I'm tagged in something, well, I don't even really know. I tagged in some exchange. And finally, with this Tony Rodham talk, I believe it was Nicole Boxer that answered how he died. Now again, suspicion is run rampant. I haven't seen anything whatsoever. And now it comes out that he, according to Nicole Boxer, that he died of cancer. Now, why should we trust Nicole Boxer? Nicole Boxer appears to be the daughter of Barbara Boxer, the former Democratic U.S. Senator from California. When I looked through who she was, you could clearly see she does the Boxer podcast with Barbara. I would assume it's her daughter because of the age difference. Who knows, maybe I'm wrong, maybe it's her niece. But if it is Barbara Boxer's daughter, there's a good chance she grew up around high-level members of the Democratic Party and their family members, and may be privy to the fact that Tony Rodham Clinton died of cancer. For instance, when she said cancer, the person asked what their source was, and she said her eyes, and that person then said, "Your eyes are not a source." And they went back and forth for a little while. I wish that there wasn't so much conflict out there. When something like that happens, take 2 seconds to, look at the person, see if they might actually be telling the truth and why, and then go, well, thank you for your time. Not start some kind of a battle. That gets us nowhere. I mean, especially if somebody is trying to be genuine. Now, if they're not trying to be genuine, I take a completely different perspective on that. Now, I also want to talk about perception versus reality in the sense of even entertainment and sports. As a lot of you guys know, I'm a huge MMA fan. And earlier today, I did an interview with John Fitch, who I believe will be fighting at Madison Square Garden this coming Friday. Now, why is this a big deal? Well, number one, he's going to be the headliner. And Bellator has known that he was going to be the headliner of this event for some time, in my opinion. What do I mean? Well, Bellator is a business just like any other, okay? You look at who really owns them, it's Viacom, okay? Large media conglomerate. They are arguably the UFC's largest competition out there, although there really is no competition for the UFC at this point, especially after the ESPN deal and WME Entertainment coming in and buying it for a record $8 billion before that ESPN deal is even made, okay? So when they invest in a guy like Rory McDonald and think he's going to be their next superstar, they have a certain interest to try to make that money back and a profit. Well, that's what they're trying to do here. Rory MacDonald did not show up to open workouts. Rory MacDonald looked like he was going to retire after that John Fitch fight. Rory MacDonald didn't win the John Fitch fight. In fact, he lost the John Fitch fight, and it was all they could do to get the judges to go with a majority draw. So, even today, after I interview Fitch, I tweet that interview out to high-level MMA media. And what do I mean by high-level MMA media? Just about anybody with connections to the sport. UFC does not have a card this week, by the way. So this should be the buzz of really the global MMA media. And I even got some responses from two of what I would call some higher-level personalities, such as Luke Thomas. Saw Luke Thomas at the Luke Thomas Show. He's got a show on Sirius XM. Interviewed Fitch before the Fitch-Rory fight. I'm not sure if he talked about it, but certainly is aware of it. And then you had Crooklyn MMA, a.k.a. Stephanie Haynes of SB Nation and Bloody Elbow. Again, two more of the larger media conglomerates. And I'm not seeing it anywhere. You go to, say, MMAweekly.com, nothing there. You go to SureDog.com, and it appears like they may have known that Rory was not going to make it, as the entire page is hyped around Neiman Gracie, MacDonald's opponent, who I believe Fitch will be fighting. 5 things you didn't notice about Neiman Gracie, and Neiman Gracie's open workout, and really the main fighters, all of their open workouts except who? Rory MacDonald. So if there was any kind of honesty there, Fitch would be doing interviews. Bellator would openly be saying, hey, John's going to be fighting Friday. But instead, they still are not even going to confirm to Fitch that he is fighting. They're telling him to make weight after they flew him in to New York from San Jose, California. And they're doing so in hopes that they'll sell as many tickets as possible before the announcement Friday that John will have made weight and will be fighting, and just kind of move on. Now, since there isn't really any, pay-per-view incentive on this one, it's arguable that, I don't know, they're doing this maybe because they have a deal with DAZN, right? DAZN, the new streaming service, they are getting all of these 170-pound tournament fights. And perhaps DAZN was like, look, we think Rory's a bigger draw. We're going to get more subscriptions if we continue with the charade. And it really is kind of a metaphor for how everything works. You know, people who think that they're going to benefit from something will put on a charade for as long as they can to try to get that benefit. And we're seeing that in politics as well, especially with the Russiagate investigation and the prolonging of that. And now it's all about obstruction of justice and impeaching the president. In fact, they had more hearings today on Capitol Hill about the matter. Excuse me. As far as I'm concerned, the matter's closed. The entire thing was a ridiculous hoax. When they knew they weren't going to catch the president in a perjury trap, they said to themselves, all right, nobody's going to flip on a smaller crime. We can't get him to testify and get himself into a perjury trap. We have to make this about obstruction of justice. And I warned people, I said, hey, obstruction of justice is going to be the new Russian collusion. And right on cue, as soon as that report came out, I was vindicated. You know, they went over 11 separate counts of what they were trying to say was, again, obstruction of justice, not collusion at all. And by doing so, you know, they've prolonged this thing. How you doing?
Sorry.
One of the kids' friends' mothers, really good lady named Beth. It's so nice to take a walk here in my little community, know people. She had her son on the back of the bike. And that's what it's all about, you know. It's about being with your family. It's about building a community. It's about seeing past the lies, no matter where they lie, whether again it be in sports, entertainment, or politics, and keep rolling into the future, trying not to get paranoid about everything, trying to reach out to our brothers and sisters, and maybe not fight over nonsense. So, just to recap the beginning of this, when conspiracy theories are abound over somebody like Hillary Clinton's brother, Tony Rodham, and you actually get somebody on the inside that gives some information saying, hey, he died of cancer, what's your source? My own eyes. Maybe you don't go on the attack. Maybe you take that information all but with a grain of salt and then see what else comes out, because I think that is the appropriate thing to do. Guys, if you enjoyed this walk and talk and you're new, please hit that subscribe button. We do one of these a day, but we also do the hard-hitting news, whether it be about Nexium, biotechnology, facial recognition, Epstein, and much, much more. This is the news spot for you. So like I said, please hit that subscribe button, join the Burmis Brigade, and I will see everybody on the flip side.